What I wanted to talk to you guys today about is how can we create a roadmap for navigating the future of customer experience together. We are living through a transformational time in technology, and transformational is a word which is so easily thrown around. But as you will see in our space in customer service, it is really a transformational moment, as I'll talk about that in a second. And what I will try to present to you folks is what the transformation is looks like, the forces which are shaping it, and almost a path forward for leaders like you to consider as you think about your journey with technology in customer service, as Mike said. So, the customer experience revolution, there are three primary things which are driving it as we speak. And as leaders, I'm sure you folks are seeing this, and we're really curious what else you're saying, what else you're seeing in the space. But the key primary things when we talk to leaders like you is first that there is an AI driven transformation wave. AI is reshaping CX, and specifically large language model powered AI, which is essentially the technology behind generative AI, has redefined what voice and chat based engagements look like, and also what operations in contact centers will happen in the future. And with operations, I mean functions like quality, voice of the customer, intelligence, how we coach our teams, and so on. The second, if I had a dime for every time I hear this from a leader, that is a really noisy technology and vendor landscape. And leaders like you have to navigate through this market while there's an unrelenting pressure from the top, from the side, from the bottom of what are you doing with AI? What are you doing to improve costs, boost sales, improve CSAT without compromising on the customer experience? So that's the context of what we see as a community. And then specifically within the three market trends which I would want to talk to us about today, which we see in contact centers and as practitioners of technology. First is the explosion of virtual agent technology in customer service. Second is LLM and generative AI driven operations automation. But at the same time, CX leaders, CEOs, boards, everyone wants to have a human centric customer service experience. All of us are customers of customer service. Every brand in the world we engage with, we want to have a human centric customer experience while supercharging it with AI. So I'll share our thoughts on all of these three topics. So first, moving into the virtual agent explosion. Now, this is a key trend which is taking over our space, and rightly so. I'll take a second to explain what's happening here. These are large language model or GenAI powered CX agents or virtual agents as we call them. They are here now. They are able to have human like conversations both on chat and voice with your customers. That doesn't mean that they will replace all humans, but we do expect up to 50% plus automation in a lot of use cases in direct customer engagement, which will free humans and your service reps for complex advisory, sales, compliance, you name it, depending on the business you are in, tasks. The second is they're having more natural interactions than ever. In a recent conversation with one of our customers, when we showed our voice agent to a customer, her feedback was, can you call out upfront that this is not a human? We don't want to be, we don't want to spook our customers that they feel that they were talking to a human. It's so real, but it was actually an AI. That tells you the power at which these underlying speech models are improving. They have tonality, they have empathetic voice, but they are not humans, right? So, but they can create an incredible experience. And then finally, these agents will be able to do actions and not just answers. When we typically think of virtual agents, we think about a question answering machine, but they will start becoming action machines, right? So, one question I'll leave for all of you leaders is, how will your customer service strategy change with this trend? And we'd love to have a discussion. We'll talk about this in a second, but we think that this trend is for real. We think that this technology is for real. And leaders like us and all of us in this community have to think about this. If you go to the next topic, which we see as a trend, the AI first workforce. What do I mean by that? This is all of us. I saw a billboard driving up to San Francisco the other day. It was a very catchy one. It had a one liner on it which said, "Your job will not be taken away by AI." And then there is a next billboard a few hundred meters after it. It will be taken away by an AI powered human. It's a dramatic statement. I don't fully agree with it. But what I mean is, this AI first workforce, there will be a lot of work which an AI worker, and for those of you who are level AI customers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we have a session on this coming up. An AI worker will be able to supercharge your day to day work, making you have time for stuff which you always wanted to do but could never get to, right? The real conversation which you want to have with a service rep, coaching your team lead, finding those real insights to improve your business. So it will elevate human potential. And we see a world where an army of specialized AI, which are for each task, right, will be deployed in your operations. And our customers are already seeing it. We have an AI for coaching, we have an AI for creating reports, we have an AI for VOC analysis, we have an AI for workers, right? And that vision is happening in every part of work. It is happening outside of customer service. It's happening in legal, it's happening in software, it's happening in finance. And we are here to tell you it's happening in customer service, and we will partner with you. And when companies like us will partner with you to take that change. But I would strongly think, as leaders, how are you planning to adopt your organization to this change which is coming? The last and final trend which we see is this idea of AI human balance. So we firmly believe, with all the first two slides were all about generative AI and technology, but we believe people want human centric experiences. People want human centric customer service. And the ultimate goal in customer service is not AI replacing humans, it's mutual learning. How can human service reps learn from AI agents and vice versa? Currently, these systems are decoupled. How can we empower our teams to become better with instant knowledge and tools and faster problem solving, right? And creating that human centric focus with automation, freeing agents, freeing our team members. If you think about it right now, all of you or most of you might have some chatbot or voice agent which you have either experienced or it's already part of your customer service. But that chatbot or voice agent is completely decoupled from the technology which helps your human agents, right? So those two systems are completely decoupled, and we talk about that. That is the future which we want, which we need to create in customer service, where there's a balance between these two. And the question for all of us is, how do we plan for the technology trend? So let me talk about that. Before we move into the solutions, I want to crystallize the 5 problems which we see with customer service leaders and customer service teams. There is a repetitive inquiry overload. All of us know this. Our teams are overwhelmed by 20% of questions, which lead to 80% of the volume, right? And they're met by clunky legacy AI, which is, press one for this and press four for this, and, waiting for an IVR system, which is just old school. Inconsistent quality standards, both for AI agents and human agents. So managing quality across human and AI agents, it currently has limited visibility. How can we scale it? How can we automate it for 100% of use cases? Data insight blindness. So the data is in silos, it doesn't connect to each other, and getting to an insight which improves the business, which improves service teams, which improves product teams, operation teams is hard. And then agent enablement crisis. We are putting more and more pressures on service reps while not able to give them the tools which make them competitive in this AI first work environment. And to solve these 4 problems, we use fragmented point AI solutions, something for virtual agents, something for QA, something for VOC, and so on. So what does the sort of broken status quo look like? A legacy AI automation solution, which is a rule-based system, which takes forever to set up. It is clunky in terms of human experience, fragmented QA and VOC, limited coverage, manual or manual VOC itself, shallow AI insights, and then point solutions to solve for these problems, leading to poor experiences, demoralized agents, and lost revenue. When we think about our customer journey, right, and I've tried to be a bit provocative here and use some out of the box names which all of us know about. But when we think of a customer journey, all of us are customers of customer service. When we call Bank of America or Wells Fargo or United Airlines, whoever the most common brands, we don't care what technology they use, right? We just care about an incredible customer experience. When I call United, I don't care who builds their chat agent and then the human agent is using what AI and how do they do VOC. I just want my United customer experience to be amazing, right? But the AI supporting that customer experience right now is fragmented. So even if you use best, like, great point solutions, voice and chat agents from Sierra or Decagon, or agent copilot from Balto, or quality management from Verint, and voice of the customer from Medallia. The problem is these disparate AI solutions from multiple vendors, each service separates on its own. It's an independent AI. It is not learning from each other. It creates silos of data and it hinders a holistic view of the customer journey. What we think is a unified AI architecture where every part of this layer is learning from each other. It is a connective tissue across the entire customer journey, where the human agent is learning from the AI agent. The agent interactions and AI agent interactions are a feedback for the quality system. The same quality system reviews everything. The coaching plans are there for AI agents and human agents. And the voice of the customer is for the entire journey and not for specific broken parts of the experience. So unifying AI into a single intelligent platform, which is more of an orchestrator than a point solution, which fosters this human AI balance within our customer journeys. Now, we meet organizations in different parts of the AI maturity model. And this is totally fine because this wave or this set of changes are happening faster than any of us can absorb. We are an AI company and we still feel every day that we are falling behind. Every Friday, OpenAI launches something, but Tuesday feel like, man, are we adopting fast enough? But organizations are at different steps of this maturity model. There is organizations which are doing manual QA, ad hoc VOC, limited self-service and agent assist, which leads to low efficiency and common errors. But that's a totally reasonable state to be in. I have news for you. There are steps which you can take to be able to create the data foundation to begin with, to automate some of your QA, automate some of your VOCs, start creating the data foundation, have your leaders access insights faster, and then set up a foundation to get into a more unified end-to-end structure. The second step we find a lot of customers at is a rule-based and segmented system. They used, 2010s AI, we call it, or a rule-based and segmented AI, where they have these complex workflows which are text and keyword based, basic chatbots, siloed agent assist. They have some automation, but are mired in this complexity of setting workflows, inaccurate data often which comes from these insights, and not optimal customer experience. Frankly, level one and level two is actually very easy to identify. Level three is where we see a lot of our customers working into, and we talk about this a lot, which is I talk about this fragmentation problem. Advanced AI for QA, VOC, but all these systems are separate. And we think that in a year or so, when you will look at your customer journey holistically, there will be a challenge in terms of these systems are not talking to each other, right? And we are creating these data lakes and making them talk to each other, and creating abstractions on top, which leads to just a poor customer experience. We think level four in customer experience is a unified end-to-end AI system, single integrated AI system across all CS functions, seamless continuous learning and customer journey. So how are we executing against that vision, which is our last slide here, is this idea of a complete solution where you have virtual agents, quality automation, voice of the customer, and agent copilot all in one integrated platform. And honestly, this is less about level AI, but as I said, more about how to think about customer service, customer journeys. But we wanted to leave you with a solution here. The other things is, how does the AI work? I think that is really important. The one AI, we talked about the one AI platform, but the other part is the full stack AI infrastructure. I'll talk about that for 30 seconds. If your AI technology, either it's homegrown or coming from outside, is if it's using borrowed AI like OpenAI or Google or Cloud or so on, it is very hard to scale it to 100% of your user traffic because it is cost prohibitive. It is not secure and private. If you have sensitive data and you're pushing it out to a public LLM system, you can't customize it, right? And the performance often lacks in terms of throughput and latency and comparison against CX models. So we highly recommend a full stack AI infrastructure is much better than using borrowed AI. It also creates a continuous learning loop. Every feedback which you have on quality, every feedback which you have on VOC, on AI agents, can feed that underlying model to become better. And in machine learning and AI, until the system is learning from the feedback, it's not an AI system, right? So we would submit to you to think about a holistic customer journey and the how of the AI. Is it one AI platform? Is it full stack and creates a continuous learning loop or not? And then finally, our customers and folks who are on this journey are seeing incredible results. 50% plus, we shouldn't call it deflection rate. This is on us, but 50% plus automation, self-serve automation, up to 100% QA coverage, 30 to 40% sales uplift, and 50% ramp reduction. This is the future we think customer journeys and customer experience leaders, customer journeys would look like, and customer experience leaders will create together. And we wanted to share our ideas with you today on these points. And I'm really curious what you guys are seeing on a day-to-day basis around this. And we have exactly 5 minutes for some questions here and have a quick discussion. Hopefully, we were able to spark some thoughts for your own roadmap and technology planning. Ashley has a really good point here. I'm seeing right now the AI space feels pretty fragmented. It's still so new to the industry, but over time, I believe it'll become more unified as standards develop, adoption matures. Totally agree with you, Ashley. And even on AI agents, there have been so many standards and movement over the last few months, right? And but our job is to abstract that all out for you and provide a really simple experience. Landon is making a point about the future integration with external knowledge management systems will be so crucial to unlocking these abilities. Absolutely, Landon. That makes so much sense. Yeah.
Ashish, I'll ask you something. Can you double click a little bit on this idea of the value of having these internal models? There is so much AI out there that I think sometimes people tend to say, well, then I use this chatbot in my personal life, and it can be hard for people to distinguish why something that's built from the ground up really makes a difference when you're talking about something like CX specifically. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. So, a couple of things. One is a model which is built ground up, right from tonality of empathy, which you want in your brand's presence, right? Or or understanding of your specific vertical. If you're a financial services customer versus a healthcare customer or e-commerce customer or a technology, that ability to fine tune the model or personalize the model for that specific use case is incredibly powerful. A generic model, which let's take OpenAI for example, it is great at drafting a college essay these days, or improving my email, but it doesn't understand, let's say, Walmart's customer service tone. Walmart is not a customer files, but I'm just taking an example of something which all of us know, right? If the Walmart team is going for a certain brand experience, customer experience, it can't be personalized to that. And the other part of, especially for virtual agents, is having your own technology stack allows customers, all of our brands, all of our companies have very deep CRM system, ticketing systems, deep integration needs. The deeper we can integrate into those systems, the better will be the level of automation and the level of experience. And the homegrown technology allows you to do that.
Right. Landon here was talking about the criticality of being able to integrate with knowledge management systems and being able to access those things and personalize to your company, not just, and even just your industry, your company. that's the critical piece, right?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your participation today.